All right, welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. Hopefully, everyone's all excited for the weekend. Good to see you all. Grant, Brian, Charlene, Egon, everybody. Welcome back, everybody on social media. Looks like we're almost done with earnings announcements. Okay, we had a couple of them back that came up yesterday. You know what? I was listening. I was reading an article. You know what was amazing? They said that over 80% of the S&P 500 stocks beat estimates. Is that unheard of? After everything that's going on, and this is what I've learned over the years. I want to be very clear on this so everyone understand this, is that when you think you know something about the stock market, you're going to lose, and you can't listen. These people are for profit. They're not a non-for-profit, okay? They will do everything they can, just like inflation and everything else. What do you think they do? They just raise the price. Doesn't affect them. It hurts you as a consumer, until it gets to a point that you just have a choice, you won't buy anymore. So they find a way to beat it, and they'll listen. They're in the business to make money. As much as you hate corporate America and hate everything that they do and take advantage and go to China and build their stuff cheaper and you lay off people, listen, they're in a business. And remember, I failed this question in college. There was an extra point on my final, and I'll never forget till this day. It was the dumbest, simplest question that anyone could write. And I took a business class, and the teacher put an extra credit on the final, and he says, "What's the definition of business?" All right. So I'm just out of curiosity. I'm going to ask everyone here. Can anybody know what's the definition of business? Anyone know? What's the definition of business? Think about it. Nobody knows? A couple of you? I guess everyone's following what I've been saying over the years, right? To make money, it was 2 words. It was 2 words. Making money. That's definition of business, okay? That's all they care about. So as much as you think like, oh, where's the charity? Where's the sympathy? Where's, everything? They don't care. They're in the business to make money. They want to build those extensions. If it takes the jobs away from the U.S. and they send it to another country and lay off and destroy a town, that's not their problem. Okay. So anyway, but you know what? The good part about it is that we're in this business and we trade it. So listen, there was a lot of companies that beat earnings. And listen, I tell you the truth, we're in this business, right? I think the last thing we want to be in the business is owning a stock and they don't meet earnings, and then we get a 50% haircut. So so that's basically that comes in. Anyway, let's go through a couple of stocks, what we traded yesterday. There are a couple of things that are moving this morning, but I would be a little cautious because it is Friday and we're going into the weekend. We all know how Friday trades, so we're not going to probably find anything crazy, but there are a couple of stocks that did come out with earnings. I guess everyone heard what happened with Apple yesterday. I think this was the only S&P 500 stock that didn't beat earnings, or I don't know if they beat earnings, but they projected that their sales haven't been that great. Honestly, the damn phone looks exactly the same. Oh, now it's all about the titanium. You know what I mean? Like, what's funny? Just the other day, I had a kick on somebody, and they were still using like an iPhone, and it was like probably like 5 years old, 6 years old, and they refused. They're like, "Well, what's wrong with it? Why I got to keep changing it?" You know what I mean? I just look at it for my emails. Some people just I'm like, wow, and it's unbelievable how long they last. But I even had someone I still had the 5. I'm like, my God, that's almost like 10 years old. You think damn still works? Apparently it does. And probably those are probably better than the ones that now, because they probably make the ones break on you. So you could get a new one. So the old ones are probably doing pretty well. But anyway, that was the news. But there were a couple other stocks that were out there. What do we got here? So hold on 1 second. So, all right. So what we got going on over here is we got a couple of stocks. I'm going to go over what happened yesterday. And there were a couple of good stocks that did make some big moves. Shopify had a really good move yesterday. It was a little bit more on the expensive side. Had a nice little move early in the morning. Ran from like 56 all the way to 60. That was not bad. Roku was the better of all of them that made a big move. Unfortunately, they were expensive. Okay, that was the bad part of it. But here's 69 all the way to 77 in literally in about an hour and a half. Even if you showed up late to work, and depending on where you are, maybe you overslept, or maybe in a different part of the country or world, you still had some nice move there on that one. Affirm, that one's going back on the watch list again. Affirm has obviously had a really good move yesterday with, and I'll bring up the 2-day chart here, actually a 3-day chart. So you can see I had a really nice move from 17, ran to 20, now it's at 21. I'm putting Affirm back on our watch list. Let me put it over here and see what's going on. Level 4 too. AFRM. I'm going to let that load up. What else we had here? XPEV. That one had a nice move yesterday. A couple of nasty slingshots though. I mean, this thing went from like 1650, came back to 16. Boom, boom, boom. Made a nice little Fausto flag right here around the 1650, 1666. I made a nice little push there. That one moved pretty well. PLTR. That's been a fun stock. I mean, that also had pretty good earnings announcements, 14 to 17. But you can see on a long-term chart, big resistance levels on that one. That's why we're having a really tough time on that. And then IBRX, that stock has been a really good swing trade. I mean, this stock since the mid-October was at the $1.30. We're already at $3.30. I mean, whatever they came out, the drug that they did, this is how you know this is not more of a short squeeze. Even though a lot of you remember we traded this back in April, it was at $2, it ran to $7. But once it got past this resistance levels right here, if it holds here consistently, it'll do pretty well. And then yes, we're gonna talk about that one too. Chuck Square had earnings announcements yesterday too. Really well. Block went from 43 up to 52. Nice little 10-point move right there. Right now in pre-market, she's not really going anywhere. And then also another company, a couple of them also, Coin came out with earnings yesterday too. And Coin's been doing really well. I mean, I own Coin after that big announcement. I did it on a swing trade. I averaged down on this one on a swing. Thank God I did. It was at major support levels, but basically did pretty well. But the earnings announcements, obviously, they didn't like it too much. Ran from 84 down to 78, but it's coming back. It's coming back. But if it comes back, this is actually a really good sign when it does that. When it hits it back and you got a little bit pushed, looks like program trading kicked in around 830. We'll keep an eye on that. What else we had? We had DraftKings also. That earnings announcements, they loved it. We actually did we did an announcement on Instagram on that one, but 29 all the way to 31. Another one got really beat up, I guess. Profit taking going on, but stock had a big push. Let me tell you, DraftKings is really pushing whatever they're doing regarding about the NFL. I mean, I was at the Jet game this past weekend. They actually have a booth that you could actually go to and bet there. I mean, like DraftKings is like all in on the NFL and everything else. But I just feel like they're all over. You got MGM, you got Caesars, you got DraftKings, you got FanDuel. It's like everybody's getting into this whole thing with the gambling. What a big difference. It's amazing when you stop and think about it. Look where we came as a society, where we're all against this. Cannabis, you can get them everywhere. Now it's like they're going all over. Gambling is like, now they're opening casinos all over where they refused it. They just approved one here on Long Island. They're building a Sands, like another Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. They just spent $300 million to just take over the lease. Actually, I don't know if you guys heard about this. Caesar's Palace had a conference call yesterday. They're looking to open up a casino in Times Square. Okay. So they're trying to get the petitions for that. I mean, they're opening up everywhere. Gambling, online gambling has been just taking off. And I feel like, it's all about tax revenue. I mean, that's basically what they're doing right here. But as traders, I mean, listen, for it, against it, DraftKings, when that news came out last year, listen, stock was at 10. It's been a great swing trade. Once again, we always say, don't take it personal, okay? Don't take it personal. It's all about making money, all right? Now, let's talk about what's moving this morning, because that's basically what the news is, what's happening. Let's talk about some of the stocks that are moving. So anyway, I want to talk about Tesla a little bit. So Tesla, which has obviously been a very popular stock that we kind of watch, not only as an indicator, but also it's got really nice, good day trades. Now, for some of you here that we have some new members that have joined us from yesterday, we did one of our weekly free events, and I would have to say it was probably the most successful attended people that actually are joining us. So we're going to get a lot of people. I'm just finding more and more people starting to get involved in trading. And I look forward to seeing you all in the trading. If you're here, just make sure you talk to the education advisor. If you're watching on social media, though, once again, you got that QR code. Ooh, I don't have the QR code for you. There we go. If you guys want to come and register for the free live workshop, just click on that, or you could come and join our trading room with that QR code. Just make sure you like us and friend us, everyone. But Tesla, just let you know, big support levels right around the 200. We're at the 220. Tesla looks like a bit of fun stock, but once again, people says, but I can't afford Tesla. You know how many people don't know that Tesla has a warrant, has an ETF? So if you can't trade Tesla and you're like, well, maybe I'll just trade the options. Well, we do day trade options, but you can also trade the warrant. And you know what's crazy? There's so many people I know in this industry that are big traders, even gurus are like, I didn't know Tesla had an ETF. You know what I mean? Of course you don't, because some of them, once again, if you're not a professional day trader, you wouldn't know that. But we could also trade this if you have an issue. A couple of the stocks that are moving. I want to talk about this stock, TNON. Now, TNON, this stock has had a nice little push up 65%, 6 million shares. This stock right here, if you look here on the long-term chart, this thing, I guess this has to be a stock split, because to go from 100 to 600, back down here to 21, this thing's down to $1. Anyway, we like stocks like this. They do move pretty well. Maybe we'll get a little dead cat bounce. I found over here on level 4, we got some big buyers that are showing up here at $1.60. Another big buyer, seller at $1.60, but it was a big buyer that showed up right around here at $1. And there was another buyer that showed up right around here around the $1.30, $1.40. So we could have our nice push of the stock right here on this TNON. I really like it a lot. I love stocks that get destroyed like this, and hopefully they come back a little bit. But don't get sold on like, oh, it's going back to 30, 50. Listen, if we make $2-3 on it, or even the stock make 50%, be happy with it. Howdy, there's another stock that's moving, but do I have it over here on level 4? Yeah, I do actually. Let me show you what we got going on here. We've got sellers that are showing up around $3 and $3.20, $3.30. No real big buyers out here. We're already down to $2.60. So she's on a downtrend. I'll put her on the B list. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Next stock that's been pretty active. That one's garbage. This is garbage. Very spotty. This one got really good volume, up 12%. Not really looking, not looking what we're looking for. PSTV, another stock, a lot of volume trading. 4.5 million, almost 5 million shares traded, but I mean, like, not really going anywhere. Expedia, I mean, that had earnings, good earnings there, but once again, we're talking about $100 stock. That one made it up 10%. Square, we got that one on our watch list too. Square's got some orders. It's got this big seller right here around 52. You see him right there? Anyone out there? Okay, got some 15,000, 17,000, around 54. So we got that. Affirm, we got that one, right? We got the Affirm. Let me put Affirm back up here. And I got the order out here. So there was a big buyer that showed up right here for 13,000. See that right there, right around 850. So that's a pretty good sign. A big sell order did come in here, though. We'll keep an eye on that one. I mean, listen, if it holds at these prices, that's a really good sign. Losers, any good shorts going on right now? Who did not make Fortnite? I got to talk to my kids about that one. Fortnite got crushed. I know that there's a game coming out today, and you know what? I'm telling you, I made so much money on my kids, and if it was Grand Theft Auto, a lot of these companies that do these video games are public, and it's amazing how much money they are at. But I want to keep it and see what's going on with that one. I got to find out what game it is. Once I find out, I'll share it with you, because I always see, is that company public? Because if all these kids are jumping on it, they're spending money on it. All right, nothing here on the losers. DOC, not really that good. Square, we already know about that one. We'll put that one on the watch list. Fubo, that one I had here. Fubo, let me see. We got some sellers right here. Big buyers showed up here, but it looks like he got executed. 74,000 shares. That's a lot. 74. That's over 100,000. And another buyer showed up for another 70. He got executed. That's not a good sign. There's some sellers out here. So let's see. It looks like one of those stocks that looks like it's making a higher low too. We'll put it on the B list. I love the volume. 5 million shares. But it's Friday. Be careful. My sooner stock per Josh on Uber. Uber's been doing really well. I know you did a really good swing trade on that, Bill. So Bill Ireland owned that stock right there. Just be careful with testing some major resistance levels right now. If you can get past these, if you can get past that 50, you're gonna look good. You're not too far. You're literally 3 points away. All right. So listen, not a lot of stocks going on. We're out of time right now. We got 15 minutes to the market open up. If you're watching, anyone else have any other stocks want to look at? Okay, we've got a couple of people here on YouTube. Cal wants to know the TNON. Well, we already spoke about that. But we have that one on it. Vince on Facebook and on NGG. It's gapped up pretty big right now, but the volume's a little low, Vince. I'm not too I'm not too crazy about it. And plus, it's one of those spoon stocks. What was the other one you had? The SDOW. It's on a downtrend. Once again, the problem with these stocks that you're pointing out, we can't see orders as good. And I'll bring one up. I'll bring it up for you. Hold on. SDOW. I'll show you what I mean. Just to bring it up, and then we'll close out the room, and we'll come back and get ready for the open. This is the reason why we don't trade stocks like this. See that? I don't know what the hell is. Look at this. My God, that's pretty bad. What in the hell is that? That's algorithms. Okay. So would you rather trade this, or would you rather trade Tesla, where you can see big iceberg orders and it's a lot cleaner to see? So hopefully that answers your question. So Vince, you look like a guy. You got to click on that QR code on the top left-hand side and get into the trading room to see why we trade one versus the other. Remember, your goal is to make money. Grant, that was pretty ugly, right? That's got to be. Josh must have fell off his chair when he saw that one. Anyway, but I'm glad you brought it up. Let's get ready for the market open. We've got 10 minutes, everybody. You got that QR code on the top left-hand side. If you're watching on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, just click on that QR code, get in our trading room. If you're watching recording, just make sure you like us and friend us. We're live here every morning at 9 a.m. and at 2:30 we'll be back. Cyber traders, remember, you see something, you say something. And if you're new here to cyber trading and you're in the trading room, remember, this is a trading room, not a teaching room. Please don't buy anything. You're here to watch other traders, how they think for themselves, because those people were you when you first came in here and want to see if this is something for you or not. All right. Before you go out there and make a big investment in something and take the time to learn it, because you got to learn before you could earn. Good luck, everybody. We'll see you in 10 minutes when the market opens up. All right. Don't go anywhere.